priority for you and your team?
I'll talk before it blows up, if you don't mind. Over here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So this is something that I really felt like I was definitely lacking the whole last year. And so what I've really been doing with my team is really making sure that personal development is at like the forefront and fostering that through encouraging, them to, constantly checking in with them about what their personal development is. We started off the year doing like a goal setting session. I had them all come to my house, and we're actually going to keep doing that. They really loved it. So we're probably going to try like every couple months to just get together for like a little team gathering and work on like life goals, work on their own people development skills, whether it's business, personal, fitness, whatever they are. Girls. I've also been having regular weekly one-on-one calls with my coaches that are showing up, and just kind of really focusing on recognizing them, applauding them for when they are doing a good job, and just really being there to help them learn and foster. And by showing them like things that I'm doing, for instance, I've recently started doing three-way messages. Keith calls them three-way messages, and I'm like, three-way what? But basically doing like a message with my coaches, potential challengers or coaches, and kind of like leading the call with them involved to help guide the conversation so that they can also learn from me. And it seems to be helping them learn as well. And I think all of those things that I've been doing so far have been really helping them develop. My teams, like all of my teams, rank advanced. So I feel like it's helping them really develop, and ultimately, obviously, will in the end help me.
Anyone want to piggyback?
We'll go. All right, I'll be honest, I really didn't do much thinking on this. It's been kind of a crazy day for me. But as far as like developing people, what my goal has been, I feel like the last couple months, is not to push my own agenda on other people. So I tried to make it very clear that they need to get a good understanding of what they want out of this business, and we're only there to help them in that way. And not, if they want certain goals, and yes, we're going to push them, and we're going to make them a little bit uncomfortable, and we're going to suggest certain things, but my success might look completely different to somebody else's success. And I've learned that being a leader is really getting to know about personalities, or like you're like coaching different people, like not just challengers. You have to kind of learn how to navigate through different personalities. Like I know there's some people on the team that when they hear certain things on our even our team calls or our national wake up calls, they literally shut down. So for me, it's been really important for me to get a good understanding of like what success looks like to them, what's their fears, what drives them in this business, and then to kind of show them the best personal development, I think, for that, and not to go the other way. Like if some people are nervous about success, and I mean, when I'm telling you, like, I have talked people off of cliffs from our team calls, which there should be no reason, but there's just certain things people react to compared to other people. So it's been a learning experience navigating through that. But what I've learned is that the way I run things, the way Rose runs things, the way Courtney runs things, everything is different. Every person is different. So not every personal development book is going to speak to different people. So I kind of give them a list of what I think is going to work based on what their success looks like to them in this business, what their fears look like to them in this business, and their goals, and what motivates them. So I guess that's been my, I guess, priority the last couple months, what's been working for me.
Who's up next?
So I will go and try not to look like a zombie. Clearly, I've been a diamond coach for 5 seconds. So I've been leaning on Danielle a lot for help, and Rose, and everybody really. So I guess this is kind of like a brand new thing for me. But as far as making people, the people development my top priority, I guess I had a hard time with, like, kind of what Danielle was saying with, because I'm always like, go, 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 do it, message, you're fine, it's cool. And not everybody's like me. And it's hard for me to relate to people that aren't exactly like me. Like, I just don't get it. I'm like, I don't get, what do you mean you can't? I don't understand. So that's hard. And now I told Danielle, like, when do they rank events? Thursday, Friday, I think I called her and I was like, I should be like paying more attention to my people, and shouldn't I know who my coaches are, and how do you keep track, and when do you message them, and do I put them all in group message, or no? That's bad, right? I'll call them. I'm gonna call her. I should be doing a what is it? The getting started right call. I should do it. You should do it. Can you do it with me? Let's just do it together. So I kind of like that hurts my ear. I kind of like had a little like mini like, oh shit, I'm supposed to somewhat be like a responsible leader at this point. Like, even though I've always, this is going to sound snobby, but I've always felt like I was like, I feel like I'm a diamond coach. I feel like I'm building a team. I feel that way already. But technically, as long as you never had that, you were kind of able to be like, oh, but I'm not diamond, so Danielle's going to do that. And I can't. So that has nothing to do with number one. So that was very useful, Renee. I can't. I gotta go to bed.
All right, I have to jump in here because Dave's like, is that Renee? Slow down. It just cracked me up. But I think you just hit the head on the nail with saying, like, diamond doesn't mean you're a leader. I personally, you were a leader way before you were a diamond. But then you're gonna have other people that are at diamond and aren't a leader. But I think that was really great what you said about that. And yeah, like, definitely use Danielle. It doesn't mean like you're a diamond and like you're not getting any more help.
No, I know. I feel like, I guess now I have this like sense of like, I want to be there for my people to develop them. So I don't have an answer for that because I feel like I'm still finding my way, I guess. But now, like, I want to, and I want to recognize the different personalities, and I should probably lock down my own personal development a little bit better. That would probably be helpful.
I think we're all always trying to make this a priority. I don't think any of us really have it down, to be honest with you.
Oh,
we have these calls.
that's what I forgot to mention. I do 15 minutes because I run 5:15 power hours. And at 5 o'clock, I always offer to do a silent reading with me because I don't actually do my personal development in my power hour just because we're usually like crazy and we're moms. But if they show up early, we do our personal development together. It's usually just me and Diana because nobody else is crazy enough to wake up that early and read. But that's what we do.
Well, I'll go. Something that's really been helping me is in the past, I have been like a control freak. Like I try to control everything. I kind of want to do things for people. And now I'm realizing, that I literally cannot do everything for people because, like coach wise, you can't make somebody want it for them. They have to want it themselves. So one thing that I found that's working for me right now is letting them have that leadership role, when they first start so they can become that success starter. Just simple as like running a challenge group right now. Letting them come up with an idea. Well, what kind of challenge do you think will work this week? Letting them be the one who posts and kind of, naturally teach them how to become that leader and to develop into a strong coach. So that's what I'm trying to do this time with my coaches, a little bit different. Really helping them have those independent skills and kind of like modeling. This is what I do. Here's my example. You can use this for your example. Let's see how you recreate this in your own way and own words, own vision. That's kind of what I'm doing right now.
And we can really open it up to any of these things. So it doesn't really have to be on one. You can just go through the gamut. But I like what you said, Tracy. I know I've enabled people because I want to be in control. I want to this is what you do. Don't do it any other way because that's what I did. But I think that really stops people from being proactive and doing what they want to do. I have a coach who constantly sends me her, and she posts in the team page too, what should I say next? I could tell her exactly what to say, but a better thing would be, what would you say if this was a normal conversation? What would you say to the person? That way it's kind of letting them think, and then if they say something, then I can kind of help them. But instead of me just jumping right out in the get-go, having them actually take some initiative with it. Who else we have on? Courtney, Shannon, Haley, Rachel.
I'll go. Well, people development isn't really my strong suit, so I've just been kind of taking notes from you guys. But like the second one, place people in their strength zone. One of my coaches was really strong out of the get-go, just running her own challenge groups. And so, I've asked to be put in them, but kind of like what y'all were talking about, not limiting them to what you do per se. She has a totally different personality than me. But her challenge groups work for her type of people. And so I don't, make her do it the cookie cutter way that I do it per se, but challenge groups is one of her strengths. And so even though I can kind of guide her and help her, I had to step back and be okay, that's weird to me, but it's working. So I think, just like what you guys were talking about, letting them figure it out on their own and be their own person.
I kind of look at that one, the strength zone, as let your freak flag fly. You know what I mean? Whoever you are, let that go. Because I feel there's just so many different people out in the world that I was just talking to one of the coaches about it, about her current struggles with mental health and stuff. And I'm you don't ever speak about this stuff. I can't talk about this. Let your freak flag fly. You know what I mean? And she wants to open up now, because we had this conversation, she wants to open up a challenge group geared towards people who, are struggling with that certain mental health thing. And I'm listen, do I know if it's going to work out? I don't know. But she has people messaging her, and she feels that's something that she can talk about. And that's why I'm just let your let your freak flag fly. Like whatever you're good at, do it. Like there's a reason you're good at it. Yes, we should always try to increase and be better at things that we're not good at, our weaknesses, but why not constantly be doing the things that we're really good at? You know, like if you're good at something, do it. So yeah, that's the way I look at it. When I get coaches that are like unique or different, I'm like, awesome, you're gonna appeal to a ton of more people that I don't even know anything about. Like, let it fly. Just be totally you, like whatever that may be.
I forget what PD I was reading. I think it was maybe like a year or two ago. But they said there's only so much that you can improve on your weakness. Like you can't improve on your weaknesses that much. I think it was like 5-10%, something crazy. But you can crazy improve on your strength because it's your strength. So just work on that. And I think like don't put people in a bubble.
Yeah, I think it was one of Bob Lucito's calls that like it was a ding went on my head, because here I was like trying to do all this stuff that I wasn't good at. And like he was like, stop doing the things that you're not good at. Work on with the things that you are good at. And I was like, yeah, why am I trying to be somebody that I'm not? Like, why wouldn't I just be me? I'm Danielle for a reason. So of course, like I said, I think that's why we do personal development, to work on our weaknesses and, you know, get past fears, but doing the things that we're good at, and I think that's where we shine. So I'm big on that, on the put people in their strength zone. You know, I think like you got Renee, who's like fast talking and it's like, great, be all, you know, like that's why we all love her. You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes we forget to show our personality when we're talking about our challenge groups or when we're posting. And like, that's what I'm always actually telling my coaches more, like, let me see your personality. Like when I meet you guys, you know, we have conversations at the team retreat and some of the girls that stayed at my house, I'm like, I feel like I didn't even know how funny and like all these things about you. You know what I mean? Like, cause I see this stuff on the computer and I'm like, well, if I can't see it, these people definitely can't see it either. So it's, you know, sometimes I think we forget to just be ourselves and not be perfect. Although, Tracy, you're definitely not the person that I was talking about. I knew exactly what kind of person you were going to be when I met you, and you did not disappoint.
And that's awesome, I know.
Yes, it is. I'll tell you, the princess room is waiting for you.
I'm ready.
I just want to say, like, I personally think for me, putting people in their strengths is hard too for me, because I am a little bit controlling myself. So putting people in their strengths is hard for me to not want them to like conform to like what I've done. So that's like an area that I'm working on. But like, for instance, like my coach, Amy, is so good at doing like challenge groups. And so like, I just let her like she's a huge part of the success of my challenge groups. And really, if I didn't have her, my challenge groups wouldn't be as good. So I definitely like, you know, it's definitely so important to have your coaches, I think. Let them run with what's good and push that. I know that's something that I need to work on more.
Courtney, Shannon, Rachel. Do we have anything to add, share? Alicia.
Well, I'll just say, I think for me, sometimes it's hard to know what my own strengths are. And sometimes I think it's easier for somebody else to see those strengths. And I think that's where we can come in as a leader. And, one person may be really good at challenge groups, but they don't think that they're good at challenge groups. And just kind of pointing out, those strengths as we see them develop. And for me, a lot of my coaches are newer. And so I'm still learning a lot of that, getting to know them better. But like you said, really kind of focusing in on what motivates them. And I've got to do better at connecting them with them on a regular basis, one-on-one time. So that's something that I'm going to try to start working on. And, trying to find out with their crazy schedules. I've got some that work till 8 o'clock at night. And with my schedule, it's crazy. So trying to find a time that we can all come together. And, we don't live close together. So it's hard to get everybody together, at a house or something like that. So it would have to be through Zoom or, something along those lines. But just being able to create a sense of community, I think within those smaller groups, Team Arise is great, but it's also huge. And I think if we can break it up and really focus on our own small teams and make it that sense of community where, you're helping each other, you're encouraging each other, and they feel like they're truly a part of a family there. I think that's really going to help keep their motivation up and make them feel like they're a part of something bigger, instead of just being, lost in the big crowd.
Yeah, I remember me, Jess, Courtney, I think he was in Vegas. We were sitting outside kind of like having our powwow after all the millions of sessions we were at, and our heads were spinning. I was like, crap, I need to make my own team page. I need to make my own team page. And I said that last summit. And I was like, crap, I still didn't make it. But I think everyone should at least have some sort of, even if it's just a group or a message thread of like you and your two people or one person, just to get something started. So when you do start having a lot of people, it doesn't become this big overwhelming thing like it was for me. Like, well, crap, we have like, you have 5 people under you, you have 5 people under you. How are they all going to come together? So yeah, I agree, Shannon. I think that's really good to make those close relationships even stronger. And I mean, in Jersey, we have I think a great group of girls because we're able to kind of like go to the Super Saturdays. And even though like some people aren't on the same leg, but they've made like great friendships just from, meeting each other at the Super Saturdays. Or New Jersey does have a lot of events, so we're kind of a little bit luckier over here. But even just doing the one-on-one Zooms, or I know Alicia runs her own team calls. I mean, even if it's just you and one other person, I think leadership is just about doing it, and you being a leader for one person is fine. And it's all about growing and learning, what do I actually lead about.
I have to jump off. I have a kid I have to go pick up at ball practice, so I will see you guys a little later.
Thanks for jumping on. Courtney, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I think it was Renee who was saying, like, when people don't coach the same way or like struggle with certain things, I'm like, oh, like, come on, get over it, and then there's things that I struggle with, and I forget that what's really easy or simple or seems easy and simple for me is not exactly what works for everyone. So I think that's definitely something. And when that happens, I know that I start like enabling or like spoon feeding. And I mean, there's just like some coaches that do what you're saying and it's just not authentic to them. So they're not getting like the traction that maybe I was, because that's not like a true post or a true, replica of like of them as a person or them as a coach. So I have to like remind myself to go back and figure out, like Danielle said, and she had said this to me before, is like, ask them, like, what does success look like for them? Because for me, I know what it looks like all mapped out. And for someone else, a couple of coaches who had quit way back when, success wasn't quitting their full-time job or anything. They loved their job. And then somehow lost in translation, it happened that they just assumed that they couldn't do this as much because they didn't want to leave their full-time job. And that's not the case. You know, everyone is in it for different reasons. So it's just kind of finding that balance. And I mean, honestly, I've been back at school for just over a month. I've been like on the struggle bus, like full speed ahead of figuring out, I'm going to cry, of figuring out how to do everything. This is like, please don't feel bad for me. So I'm figuring it out and we're fine.
Let it out, Courtney. You're okay here.
No, I know. I just, like, something has always slipped, like, or since I've been back at school, like, I'm just for leaving Charlotte. Like, I'm fine leaving her. It's not that anymore. It's not like I'm, like, completely devastated, like, crying at school. But at school, I can barely stay afloat. And then, like, the 1 week I didn't do any workouts. And, like, last week I didn't do any business. Like, I'm, like, trying to figure out how to not sacrifice like these 4 important things, like my family, my schoolwork, my workouts, and my business right now. So, I mean, this week I'm doing my power hours at night, and I just posted it, and I'll post it in Team Rise if I can stay consistent like this week. Nobody jumped on with me yesterday. I sent it to like my downline, and that was fine. And, you know, they commented like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. And I was just sitting on a Zoom like by myself, and I was like, so weird. But like I needed to post it and to like be public about it just like our workouts, like just to like stay accountable and like check in. And you know, I know one of them jumped on tonight, so it's just kind of, if I can do that at least 3, I mean, obviously I'd love to do it 5 nights a week, but when I was off, I could jump on with Danielle like super early in the morning. Like right now I'm getting up at 4:15 to just do my workout. And then like get off to school somewhat on time. So it's just figuring it out right now for me. So I don't feel like I can offer anybody anything at this moment. So check in with me in like 2 weeks.
Courtney, this is like the hardest time of your life right now. I can totally relate. Going back to work, I wasn't doing this when I went back to work with kids. So first of all, you're doing freaking amazing that you're even doing what you're doing by taking care of your body and working out and doing all of that. Number one, like there's no way in hell that I was doing that. So you're doing amazing. So don't beat yourself up, you know? Like I know that's what we all do, is we all beat each other up, you know? Like we beat ourselves up for like the things that we feel like we're not doing or we should doing. But, you know, finding balance is literally the hardest thing that you're ever going to have to find to do. And you're probably never going to find balance. Something's going to always be off balance. So, you know, just, you're doing awesome. You will eventually figure it out.
Does anybody really have balance though? I feel like as soon as you get your shit together, something else hits the fan and you're like, damn, I was so close.
Yeah, there's never balance.
I feel like that's the way it's supposed to be though. Like to me, like I've mentally like set my mind where like when something's going crazy, I'm like something awesome is about to happen, because that's how it always feels. Like whenever I'm like, okay, I got this handled, there's like, you know, like what do they say, like a wrench thrown in, you know what I mean? Like that's, I just know something is always like happening. It's either good or either you rise to the occasion or you don't, you know, like and I feel like the minute and you're gonna find it too. Like I was just saying, you know, Rose contacted me last week and she was like, okay, now we got to start talking about your second business center. And I was like, ugh. I was like, what do you mean? I feel like I finally just figured this out. And now I'm like, okay, now I feel like I'm going to have to go back to the beginning. But it's like the same thing with raising kids. It's like, okay, you get out of diapers. Then you got to teach them how to pee on the potty. Then you got to teach them how to wipe their butt. Then you got to teach them how to tie their shoe. Like it never stops. And then they're 6 years old lying straight to your face about permanent marker on your cabinet. So, you know what I mean? Like it just never, it never stops. You just got to learn to just like bask in the craziness and know that Like, I'm going to rise to the occasion. I'm going to get over this. Something good is about to happen. And we're all batshit crazy. That's it.
Some days I have to say to myself, if I took a shower today was a success. And I know I don't have kids, but even with working from home, you find ways to fill your days up regardless, because I'm not a person that's going to sit around and be like, oh, let me, I don't know, like play housewife. Like that's just not, that's not me. So as long as I get a shower every day, like it's a win. So Courtney, like you wake up and you go to work. I would say that's a win that you even go there, that you get there. You know what I mean? That you physically get up, get your workout in, you go, and that's it. Whatever else happens, be thankful that you did that one thing, you know?
I'll say that not having things together is like right up my alley. I feel like that's my life story. And that's why I don't want you guys to think that I'm like not interested in our calls and stuff. But honestly, like I feel like you guys all have it together and I'm like freaking floundering over here. Like 3 years in the business and I've never like not floundered. And so honestly, most of the time I'm just quiet because I feel like I don't have anything good to give you guys. And it's not about like bashing myself or anything. It's just, I struggle daily. Like I struggle to get out of the bed some days, you know, I don't feel like I'm ever on with anything. And if I am, like I'm on for like 2 days and then off again. And so, I enjoy being on here just for the support, just hearing that like you guys are figuring things out, and I try to learn as much as I can from you guys. But honestly, like I feel like I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I feel like I've had some awesome leaders on my team and some awesome leaders develop other leaders, but I feel like it's all completely been straight luck. I don't feel like it's had anything to do with me. And so I'm just trying to soak up everything that you guys figure out and hope that one day it kind of just clicks. So that's all and I know Danielle, you're probably talking about me because you have no clue who I am on social media, and then I freak out.
Well, I told you that in the car. We were like, I was having all these funny conversations with her, and I'm like, Rachel, I didn't even know that you were this funny. I'm like, I feel like I could keep you. Like you should be hanging out like on the regular. But I had no idea about this personality. But I think I don't think any of, just so you know, like the reasons why I'm so in love with like positive affirmations and mantras is because I'm the hardest person on myself, and it's a struggle for me to do pretty much anything. And I have to literally pump myself up every morning and repeat weird things to myself around my house like a crazy person, just so I can believe in myself. So just know, like, none of that comes easy maybe for some people. For me, I have to literally like rev myself up and I fake it I always say fake it till you make it. Like say it until you start believing it. And I don't even know if I believe it, but I tell myself it anyway. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
I'll say that people have joined you for a reason, and you have those leaders underneath of you for a reason. I don't think nothing in life is luck. Like you being on this team wasn't luck. You know, your coaches joining you were in luck. They saw something in you. They saw you had a connection with them, and you somehow, you know, magnetized those people towards you. It wasn't luck. So, and regardless of whatever, you say that you're in, you're out, you freaking you come back, right? Who, honestly, to be in this for 3 years, whether you're in or out, whatever, but you keep showing up. So to me, that says a lot.
Can you hear me? This is Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Rachel, just to give you some feedback on, thinking that things that you offer are not of value. It was on a call that you shared that you were having weekly or biweekly one-on-one calls with your coaches. And that, what you shared and what you said that you were doing with your coaches has inspired me to try to do the same. Now, fitting it into my schedule and actually getting it accomplished is a different story, but just hearing that and actually talking to one of your personally sponsored coaches and saying, this is what Rachel's been doing and this is helping me. So, you know, you are offering value and you are learning. You just don't see it yourself.
Amen.
Thank you guys. I
I
appreciate
love you, Rachel.
it. Tracy's one of my most
And your-
lucky coaches ever. Like
And your Asian husband. I love him too. I love you both.
you love your actual coach.
I love my coach Crip.
And I think that's what it all boils down to. Like, I guess we're all really hard on ourselves. And I think I feel like everything I touch crumbles at some point or another. But I think it's a good thing. It's a crazy, amazing thing that I love this so much that, like, I haven't seen something like the idea that Bonnie Engel started like the same time that I did, and I am me and she is Bonnie Engel. Like, that drives me crazy. But at the same time, like, it hasn't been easy for me. And you're right, Rose, I still keep coming back. And so, I mean, if nothing else, this has made me a better person. But I can't give this up. Like, at some point it will all click and it'll be magic and roses and all that. But like, I don't know. I just, it's just frustrating, like, to feel like you maybe you get it right this time. Like, maybe you have a really good challenge group and maybe this coach just really gets it, and then 10 people quit on you, and and it's just, I'm not trying to bash anything, or it's frustrating. And I don't know. So I don't know if anybody's figured out the magic sauce and how to make all this work. You let me know, and otherwise I'll just keep showing up and hoping something falls into place.
Rachel, I kind of because lately I've been kind of feeling that way too. But and it's hard because, like, you have a few good people and then, like, you find some that are really good and then they quit too. Or yeah, I totally hear you. And even for me lately, like, it's been really inconsistent with my arthritis and stuff working out. A lot hasn't happened. And yeah, that's been really difficult, and like changes that I've been seeing in my own body from like taking my medication and stuff like that. And it's not fun, but yeah, you still have to show up and be consistent. And I guess, like, I was going to tell you that I always tell my coaches too, and myself as a good reminder, that you're going to attract people that nobody else can, that I can't, that Rose can't, that Shannon can't, that Haley can't. And you're going to attract that special person that's going to just, take off and ignite and, their own little fire and start their own little team. And I feel blessed to have one of those on my team, and that would be Holly for me, because even though she's not huge in her business and doesn't have a lot of time either, she's a mom too for little kids. She has 2 little kids, and but I just feel like her being there to support me and me to support her, that she is going to go really far. But she's taking her sweet old time too, and I'm just kind of learning to be patient with her. But she was a coach on somebody else's team, and she saw me and she connected with me, and she just felt compelled to switch coaches to me. So we got like that worked out. Like, she had to switch her email address and everything like that to sign up underneath me. But it's totally,
we're recording this.
when you find somebody else, that is like, is you, and so just keep going at it. And eventually, even for me, like, I'll find another person that'll replace, another coach that just quit on me this month, or, but you just got to keep going and looking for that extra little spark in somebody.
I think what's important is remembering, and I'm talking to myself and anyone else who's struggling with it, is how would we as coaches help someone, a challenger who is going through a hard time, and stopping and starting their fitness program or struggling with their nutrition, right? We wouldn't just high and dry leave them and be like, oh, good try. You know, we got to look at ourselves the same way in this business, and that we have to keep plugging away, and we have to keep showing up, and we have to be consistent in order to see results, right? You're not going to do a fitness program one day a week and expect to see results. And I think that's where some frustration, you know, for me lied, or, you know, that I wasn't being consistent and I'm beating myself up over results. Well, like when you look back at yourself, did you show up every day, and did you show up for things? And I think, you know, cut yourself some slack where you can, but like everyone's saying, it's just about figuring out what works for you and doing the bare minimum if that's all you can some days, and then going above and beyond the other days. But just like you would say to your challengers, like, you were meant to be in this challenge group, you can do this, I'm here for you. That's what we're all here for each other. And like, I hope I didn't make this like totally turn a different direction this call, but like, just as we have to do for our downline, that we're doing for each other here as leaders, is that this people development, I didn't know or don't know that anyone else is struggling. And now that we're having this open conversation, so make sure you have that conversation with your coaches too. I'm not saying you have to publicly post that, you know, you're struggling in your business, but let your coaches know that you've been there. This business is ebbs and flows. It's ebbs and flows too. And it's okay to be honest and to be real about it. But it's, what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do next? And I think it was, you know, Danielle had said, you either show up or you fold. You know, I coach high school sports, and you come up to a challenge, what are you going to do? You're going to step up your game, or, you know, are you going to quit? And I know nobody on this call is going to quit by any means, but just give yourself, you know, a good ass-kicking talk and a good cry, and then get freaking back on it.
Yeah, I think that's like the big thing for me is just, it's not that I would ever consider stopping. It's after you've gotten yourself so freaking low, like, what the heck do you do? Like, you feel like, you know, every time it's like that momentum thing, and you're pushing the ball up the hill, and you let it go back down, you have to push that much harder to get it back up. And so it's every single time it's, crap, life happened. What the heck do you do to, you know, to encourage your coaches again, to encourage yourself again? It's more of just, you know, like, what's the starting point? You know, like, what's the most important thing to get you back started again? You know, like, I mean, obviously you have to work on yourself, and you have to be consistent in your own being a product of the product and your personal development. But at the same time, like, you actually have to do your business too. And so it's just hard to figure it all out at one point, I guess.
I think you kind of answered your own question.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say it, and then she said it. Yep.
Yeah, you can go, Dan. You can.
No, like, you just said it. It's like, what are you gonna do to get your small win? That's what I tell my coaches. What are you gonna do to get yourself a win? Like, for me, I always say, like, there's days where, like, I'm just like, oh, I don't feel like talking about anything. Like, there's nothing in me. I'm not motivated. Well, when I'm usually not motivated, it's when I'm not on a program. Like I always tell my coaches, like, what program are you doing? Have you been doing it too long? Do you need to do a new program? Do you need to follow your nutrition better? Like, it's crazy how new programs start to finish will breathe new life into a coach. What's the new book that you're going for? Because, okay, maybe you had that personal development book that's been sitting there on the couch or the shelf that you've been trying to read for the last year. Well, guess what? It didn't happen. So push it away and find one that you're going to get into, like the one that you're going to read. And then share, like, that journey of that new program. And, like, you answered it. You answered your whole self. You know, I mean, all the other stuff, the business stuff, I mean, I'm horrible at that stuff. I don't even care about that stuff. I hate to say it, but, like, the only thing I truly care about is my challenge groups. And when I care about my challenge groups, everything else happens. Like I pour every ounce of me into my challenge group. And then I have my coaches do my challenge group with me. And I say, okay, this is exactly what you're going to do in this challenge group. And then the next challenge group, you're going to run by yourself with your coaches. And we duplicate that. And I've led this with that whole like heart and challenge group. And now when I get on my Get Right, Get Started Right calls, and my coaches are saying, you know, my main focus is just to really help people and show them the beauty of this challenge group. I'm like, that's it. That I did it. Like that's my focus. All the other stuff, it's like Zig Ziglar says, you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. It's, you know, work on the things that you can control. I can't control any of my coaches. I can't physically make them do anything. The only thing I can do is lead by example and run my challenge groups with consistency and like oomph. Like to the point where I'm literally writing out new templates every challenge group. Is that crazy? Yes. Is that a lot of work? Yep. But it works. And my challenge groups are literally my favorite part of this business. I don't think I would be in this business without my challenge groups. Like that's what we do. We are my coaches and we are challenge group people. And I think getting into it like challenge group with different other coaches and kind of other personalities, and you're talking and they're talking, like I think that stuff is dynamite. I'm all for running challenge groups with different coaches. I think that is a great idea. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But I think you're good, Rachel. I think you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're hard on yourself, just like every one of us. You're going to be just fine, lady.
Yeah, just keep it simple. The business stuff, I mean, everyone thinks I know it. I know it okay, but there's so much, you know, I'll listen to like Bob or Keith, and I'm like, gee, like kind of like Danielle with the G-Star. Crap, like I thought I had it. And you just, that stuff it'll take care of itself. I wouldn't, you know, first thing and foremost is you. Take care of you first, and then the rest will fall into place. Who didn't get a chance to talk tonight? Lisa.
Hi guys.
Hey.
A crazy day. My doctor appointments are always on Tuesday nights, every other week now. So
Doesn't you know it's like team call nights?
I know. And they have nothing available ever except for like 10 in the morning. I'm like, I can't be taken off of work. So I don't know. I got crazy shit going on over here today. Oh.
So we were just talking. I mean, you can hop on it and talk about whatever if you heard something from one of the other girls, but we were talking about mentoring and, you know, developing people, putting people in their strength zone. And then I don't think we really touched upon seeing people who they can become. So if you have any thought or ideas, any of that stuff. Did we lose Lisa? I think we did lose her. I'll just say for number 3, I don't think anyone really touched upon that. Sometimes I see new coaches and they ask me like, you know, the typical new coach question. And I'm like, crap, like, shouldn't they know that already? And I'm like, no, they shouldn't. So sometimes, yeah, like I need to see them as who they are going to become and not think that everyone should know what they're doing, because I forget. It's been 4 years, but I forget what being a new coach is like. So sometimes I kind of came up with all this stuff from this book, John C. Maxwell Mentoring 101. I love his little books because Courtney gave one like a couple of years ago, and the mentoring one is actually really good, a really quick read. But that's where I kind of pulled these points up and or I think I needed to work on myself. So that's why I chose this for tonight's call. You guys were wondering. Anyone else last thoughts? Or even not about this?
What was the name of that book, Rose?
Mentoring 101.
I have a question that's completely unrelated. Did everybody buy their tickets already for the Plane of Summit?
No.
Yes.
No.
Why do I feel like it keeps getting earlier and earlier every year? I'm like, oh, it's cool. Let's wait. And then I see everybody buying. I'm like, damn it.
There was a really good deal that when Jessica to go for, because there are a bunch of people are getting Quarter Force certified. So the flight is like Tuesday afternoon through, I just forgot the name of the airline.
Yeah, that's not an option for me.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna.
Yeah. Have you looked, Danielle? They're expensive as shit.
It's because that price of that flight was like really good. That's why a bunch of us got it.
It's expensive, but if RJ's gonna come, like he can't take off work that much. Like if there's no way that I can squeeze in an extra day. Otherwise, I'll be bringing my brother instead of my husband.
Yeah.
Wait, Danielle, I say 6 weeks. I just jumped on it, just like Leia said, because of the price.
Yeah, the Wednesday flights were really expensive.
I saw them. That's why I was like, no thanks.
Nah, keep waiting.
You gotta wait.
Yeah.
What are like the website things like alert? Like
I
you
have
can
it. Yeah, I got all. Like I know I bought mine last year at like Easter, wasn't it? And Easter was early, so it was like March, like the end of the March. I bought mine last year, so I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to do it soon. Whatever.
Yeah, I just want to keep an eye on it. And hope they make a mistake and post something really low.
Right. All right.
Does anyone, if you guys can look at the leadership page and see if you guys can do any team calls, Leia's been recruiting a lot of people, but I think it would be great for our team to kind of hear us talk too.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to kind of do it like 50-50 a little bit, especially since we have so many new coaches.
Yeah.
So they really get to know us as leaders too. Like really, I think so many of the new leaders probably don't even know half of us on this team because we've gotten so many new coaches. And I'm having a hard time filling the next month. So
Remember, I have that video from Nikki.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
I'll
Okay.
do a call. You just gotta give me like 2 weeks in advance so I can
Yeah.
meet RJ's.
Al, have you heard anything from your coach lady yet?
I just gotta give her dates. Like I have to give her physical dates. She's just very busy. So like I have to give her like 3 and she's gonna pick out of them. So whatever like works. I know Rose suggested a date and then you said that it was already covered.
Oh, yeah.
Give me like 3 dates and I'll let her know. And we'll see what she says. I mean, she said, you know, like she'd talk for like 20 to 25 minutes and then she'd answer questions because I feel like there'll be a lot of questions. And that she said that like if I send her like how our compensation plan works, she could like tie that all in on like what that looks like for us. Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes she says things and it goes like this.
Okay.
But she's smart.
Right now, the first 3 weeks in April are open.
Okay. Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, 4th, 11th, and 18th.
Okay. I will email her tomorrow.
Can somebody that's going to the event on Friday, will somebody video it or live feed it? Because I can't go and I'm super bummed.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get someone to.
Wait, Rose, I didn't realize you had Diana speaking.
Yeah. I was trying to get her on the national wake-up call. That didn't work out. So I'm like, if I could get her to speak in front of Jeff Hill, then maybe she could.
She told me this morning when we were on the power hour, and she was like freaking out. I'm like, you're gonna be freaking awesome. That's what I told her. I'm like, do you realize that they like pick people like this to go on Summit and tell their stories? I'm like, there's like people that go on and will like do a little snippet of their story. I'm like, you never know where this could lead you.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for her.
Me too.
Oh, and if anyone can come at 6 with me, I need like 4 other people to do registration. Tell me what registration. I don't know if anyone can come early.
That would
I'll ask
mean
your coaches.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is coming.
that would mean I'd have to leave at like 4:30, and there's probably no way that RJ's gonna be home in the time.
Leia, any of your girls?
No one coming. I'll let you know. I just have to talk to my husband if I can come.
I'll
And
find
Courtney, you're
out.
going with all 3, right?
Yeah, I can't because John gets off and then I'm leaving.
I'll see. I'll see who else I can get.
I know me and Diana are coming together. I'll see what's the earliest time we can leave.
Okay.
But I think it's like an hour and 45-minute drive for me.
Yeah, I'm leaving at 4.
Wait, where is it again?
Old Bridge?
Oh, I don't even know where that is.
It's by Sayreville. It's by Lisa.
I don't even know that word, so
What?
I don't know anything about. I don't know those places.
Oh, okay. Anything else that we want to talk about? I mean, I know we've been on for an hour. Incorporating into the team page. Are a lot of you guys kind of doing your own thing in your own team pages? Danielle, I know you are.
She's in the office. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, I have some people that want Success Club partners. They were asking like if they could like partner with like our little group, and I feel like we're always so together as it is. So if anybody has any people here that need Success Club partners, I have like 3 girls that really need one.
I love how you call them Success Club partners.
Whatever. Sorry, I always get
My girls need partners. I'll ask them if they're interested.
Okay, I know, like, I have Erica who is, like, ready. So, like, I want to match her with somebody who's, like, ready. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody that's going to, like, pump her up and, like, match her and, like, her willingness for this business. So,
My biggest runner right now is Tracy. So
okay, that would be wonderful.
let me talk to her, and Lorene probably want one too, but she's awesome. She's just like a little bit slower. So we might need to find like a good personality match.
I have Jen. Well, Renee has Jen. And we've really been struggling trying to find somebody for her. I guess she used to have one, Jen Wallace. She used to have one. And then I guess they quit the business. But I think she really, really needs one, but I'm just not sure who to put her with. So, Rose, if you have any suggestions, because me and Renee are kind of stumped.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you don't want to put two of the same together,
And who?
but yet you don't want to hold another person back.
No. But yet Jen's also very, like, there's just certain things that makes her shut down, too. It's a complicated one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jen
One
Williams.
that we were talking about, we can't relate, that I have a hard time relating to her with, because her struggles are just so far from mine that I don't know how to help her. I just don't know how to help her. And I feel like it's a shame, like, you know how like you can see like the number 3 on that board, number 3, like what you see them to be. She deserves so much success, and she works so hard, and she does everything and all the behaviors, and she does personal development, and she's way better, like on paper, way better of a coach than I've ever been, ever. Like, she's so good, and I don't know what she needs. I can't relate to it. I don't know what she needs.
Something has happened behind the scenes where we're not seeing. Like, there's a disconnect somewhere.
Is she growing her network? How many friends does she have on Facebook?
We do it every morning, unless she's just straight blatantly lying.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
we on the Power Hour adding 13 people a day. Like, that's our minimum number.
but you're saying she's not showing you her conversations.
I'm not getting any conversations. I will say that. And that's what I'm saying behind the scenes. Like, we even do, like, we just put in this is for anybody who does Power Hours. We do an extra 5 minutes, and we personally message somebody in our Power Hour from who's liked our fitness posts, and she's like, "Oh, I've been doing this for like a while now." So like, she's doing it. She's planning her sleep with us, where she's messaging people. I mean, I know that inviting is very, very difficult for her, but she makes events and she posts in these events. There's something's happened behind the scenes. There's a disconnect that we're not seeing.
Maybe reach out to Lisa and see if Lisa could do a call with her, because I feel like Lisa can always like pull something out of you. You know what I mean? Like she always knows like the right questions.
You're right. She does need Lisa.
Wait, Lisa? Which Lisa? Hanson?
The Lisa.
I always say my Lisa.
Love Lisa.
I talked to Jen a little bit. She's reached out to me a little bit through Messenger and stuff. Because I think she relates to like my story a little bit. I think she's got like anxiety and stuff. Like maybe
She does.
yeah. So I could talk to her too, but I mean, she messages me like often. You know,
I just wish I could find somebody to partner her with that, like, because I don't think she'd hold somebody back if they were self-motivating. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she'd keep somebody back. I think she'd help them in, like, you know what she does in our team, in our challenge group, like talk about knowing people's strengths. Somehow she keeps track of every post everybody does.
She's amazing.
And runs these tallies and then puts up pretty pictures of them. And I mean, she's so creative. She's like, today is show your ugly something fit. Like, she's so good.
She's the bomb. Like in our challenge, she really is.
I would be lost without her. I can't imagine. I know she would help somebody. I just don't know what help she needs.
Yes, that's her strength. Challenge groups is definitely her strength for sure.
She's like really similar to Amy.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I would say get on a call with Lisa. And say, yeah, I think that would
because she does respond well to my hopiness, and we all know that Lisa's like the girl for that. So
of all,
yeah. So all right. Well, thanks for your input.
Right on. All right, ladies, 9 o'clock, team call. We'll take a break, a pee break, get some wine or tea.
I'm going to bed, ladies.
All right, Renee, thanks for jumping on.
Record it for me.
Bye. Thanks for doing the call.